Check one, two. Check one, two. Yo, what is going on, everyone? I have returned. How's it going, Delansky, Junie, Cindy, Knoxville? Good to see some familiar faces. Although I could say that about basically every stream. Yeah, I just got back, what was it? I forget, was it yesterday? No, it was Sunday night. I got back from my cousin's wedding, and, yeah, man. I've been to a few weddings now. I had only, up until the last couple of years, I think I'd been at one wedding, maybe two in my life. There were very few people in my life that were getting married, and things really started picking up. You know how it goes. You get older, people get more ready to settle down, have kids, and get married, and it's not for everyone, but yeah, I'm definitely seeing more and more of it. And it was just such a this was a really special one because it was the location, the amount of family and friends that were there. It was mostly family, but yeah, it just left me feeling really recharged and grateful and happy and I guess proud to have such an awesome family. And yeah, gave me some ideas too for what my fiance and I might want to do for our wedding eventually, because we have a lot of crazy ideas we throw around. And I mean, we talk about like wanting to maybe throw our own festival or something like that at our wedding, but we also know we can't spend exorbitant amounts of money on it, so we'll see. But either way, I'm happy to be back, and I feel really recharged and feeling good. What's up, Original Butter? Thanks for joining the chat for the first time. We don't have a date yet. We're still kind of planning things out. Are we invited? Yeah, I'll live stream the wedding. No, that's not gonna happen. Domo Jojo, what's up? Thanks for joining the chat for the first time. I appreciate it. I'm going near 19, so all the people in my life are partying. Yeah, that's totally fine. I honestly think the reduced pressure, like societal pressure, I don't know what it's like in countries outside of the U.S., but there's been a pretty big shift in the U.S. There's less pressure and expectations revolving around marriage, and a lot of people have grown up now with, I forget what, so I'm 33. My parents' generation is somewhere in their like mid 50s to 60s, something like that, and or I guess more leaning towards 60s. But some people have younger parents, and a lot of people grew up with, I think, divorced parents. A lot of people's parents divorced, and I think that it can change your perspective. I mean, it doesn't mean automatically you don't want to get married or something, but both me and my fiance, our parents both divorced, and for us it was something that made us want to be that much more mindful about the decision to get married, I guess. It didn't mean that we didn't want it. We just wanted to wait, I guess, for the right time. And honestly, I never even thought about getting married up until my fiance and I started going out. So here we are. Anyways, I haven't really decided what I want to do today. I have a few things I could work on. A lot of things I should work on. I've got a bunch of album tracks. I've got that track with Breakin'. Free Bite, thank you so much for the sub. Much appreciated. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I have Inside VIP, Breakin' collab, tons of album stuff, some other stuff going on. That like little side project I think I mentioned to y'all that I would be working on, and yeah. So maybe I'll just take a moment to play a little more piano and catch up with y'all in the chat. Net Unknown. He started playing talk music mid-chat. That's both dope and hilarious. What's talk music? Yeah, I kind of figured I wouldn't work on material for the side project because this is like, a Haywyre stream. So it might sometimes kind of overlap a little bit, but we'll see. I don't mind showing y'all finished results from the side project, but I figured it doesn't really make much sense for me to work on it on stream. Tis a Haywyre stream after all. But yeah, okay. Let me get OBS out of the way here. And let's figure out what we're gonna do here. I'm gonna take a look at my recents. Don't know if I really wanna open anything quite yet. We'll see. I'll just jam out a little bit on piano and for a little bit longer, and we'll go from there. Oh, actually, one sec. Let me fix something with my side cam here. Hold on. This kind of like... There we go. Kind of a fun little idea. All right. That's a pretty early bring out baby redemption. Damn. Pepper, is it just me or is the piano pitch weird whenever it's louder? Mostly the lower notes. Huh. That's strange. If my bitrate is bad, I feel like that sometimes affects the pitch, but it shouldn't really be the case. Oh my god, forgive me, Art Nerd. I still haven't gotten the new BRB thing going. I have it. Wait, should I just like... No, I have to overlay it, I think. Let me record a little riff here, and then I can leave you guys with a little loop. And then I'll get baby. Let's just figure out what we want to... What should the BRB loop for today be? Let's see. I like that. I'll leave that as the loop. Okay. We are back. I'll get the baby. Say hello, baby. What's up, Shadow Fox? Or Shadow Fox? I think he's a little sleepy. He was just chilling on the chair downstairs. He's the only cat that lets me do that without attacking me. Alright, let's get him back out of here so we can keep chilling. That's the earliest baby redeem I think I've ever seen. why don't we take this idea and kind of translate it into a few different synth sounds. So I'll start with a sine wave here. And just add something simple. Okay, let's start with that. Send to sidechain A. Cool. Then let's make sure the sidechain is from main 120. Okay, let's make some kind of chords. Actually, I think I want to maybe do saw here as well. Okay. Let's add some really simple filter movement here. Yeah, let's start with that. Hold on, I gotta switch this to envelope. There we go. Let's add a little bit of reverb actually here too, and a little bit of delay. All right, let's see. Now I'm kind of hearing something more dry, actually. Maybe, I'm gonna try something out here. Let's put the chords on the panorama and this bass line on the Nord. Okay, let's kind of fine tune this bass sound a tiny bit more. Add a tiny little bit of a pluck. Little pluck. Yeah, that's right. I think the day before I left, I kind of had this thought that it'd be cool to start every stream with like a sketch. It's kind of often how I like to get my creative brain going anyways. Let the muscle memory start kicking in. All right. Maybe this probably isn't going to do that much right now, but I'm still going to do it. It actually would be more useful after the distortion, but okay, sweet. Cool. Let's try to see if we can add a little velocity action to these chords. Let's go like this. That resonance increase as the filter moves down. Cool. Let's add an LFO to the mix here. Set it to free. Do like maybe once every measure, something like that. I kind of like that. Let's try to record it. Yeah, let's try that instead, actually. Cool. get this cutoff a little bit lower. Cool, we got a little bit of an A-B section here now. So we could do something like this. Have a couple of sections to play with. Oh, we gotta quantize this probably as well. Alright, where's that macro automation? So this could be like a slightly more upbeat version of it. Let's add that in there. Let's grab a some kind of like nest sound. Bell, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Efficient Speed Demon. kind of a fun little idea. Let me add another. I think there was some kind of interesting synth layer. I'm picturing in my head right now. I remember finding this patch randomly in my presets, and I don't remember what it was called. It's not that, but cool sound. One of the downsides of having a lot of presets, I guess. So you gotta rate them, otherwise it's kind of hard to find what you're looking for. That's a nice synth. I like that. So let's duplicate that and keep searching. It's cool. really chill vibe. Cool, let's save it. Although I think I have to make at least one version where there's enough of the track to like listen to get the feeling for it. Or sketch, I should say. So let's just duplicate everything. And let's jam on it once through. Whatever this is. Maybe let's create a little fill to go into the... yeah, let's go like this. Let's add like a little bit more time here for this to build up some more. And then we can kind of delete this automation. Maybe create a gradual ramp up here in the hi-hat. And then we could just create a little bit of variation with this low pass. Take the kick out here. Cool. Let's jam on this with that with a synth sound. Although it would be nice to have the cutoff linked to something. Let's configure that real quick. Maybe the mod wheel makes the most sense, I think. And let's make sure we're recording the automation. Throw it in the sketch journal folder. I'll just save that. What do we got today? September 9th, right? Yeah. Oh, I already made a sketch journal today. Forgot about that. 225. Let's call it a jazzy house. Cool. All right, I'm feeling pretty warmed up. Why don't we find a project file to move on to? So I don't feel like I'm spending a bunch of time creating new stuff. when I know that I have plenty of things to work on that I need to finish. Why don't we open... Let's just start opening stuff and see if there's anything that is spiking interest. I guess I could also listen to renders instead of opening project files. Maybe that's more efficient. I've been experimenting with this platform to organize unreleased stuff. It's been pretty nice, actually. I mean, the main reason I do something like this now versus private SoundCloud stuff is you can do nesting. So you can like have multiple different versions of the same song. Which for me ends up being kind of nice because I tend to have a lot of different versions of songs. But anyways, I think this one is What Would It Take? I ended up kind of reverting some of it, I think, back to where I was originally taking the song. Yeah, this is an old version. I need to get a new render going. Let's check out where things are at here. See if this track is sparking any inspiration. Oh, there's a little intro here. Wait, what is that random vocal? Where did that come from? Oh, it's this.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now.
I think my voice is sounding pretty good there.
What would it take for me to live? What would it take?
Oh, I think I was trying to figure out what to do with the bass line.
What would it take?
Okay, I think I have some ideas here. So why don't we stick to this for a little bit, but first things first, let me just increase the samples here a tiny bit. It's going to help with the CPU. All right, let's get back to it. I think I want the emphasis to be more on the upbeat. So like right now with the hi-hat emphasis being on the downbeat, it's gives it more of like a funk feeling, I think. So let's do it the other way around. Also not crazy about this collab. Let's see if we can maybe get rid of more of that fundamental from the snare that's probably layered in that sample. Yeah, maybe we need a different clap sound altogether here. I can kind of hear it in my head how I want it to sound, but this isn't it right now. think we might want to bring the velocity down a tiny bit. Yeah, let's try the look. You know what? Even though the latency is going to drive me crazy, I'm actually going to try to re-record this. Hold on. Yeah, let's do it like this. It's I think I need to make sure the end time isn't being quantized too. Okay, let's get a different clap going here because this thing's gonna drive me crazy. Let's see. No. Sure, let's throw that in there. I think for a tighter clap sound, which is what I'm hearing, I do like using this Oliver clap a lot. And then maybe we can find some other stuff to layer with it. And right now my idea is to like basically find ways to add different bass sounds to help create some variation and emphasize different like notes in the bass line here. Unless we just outright find a better patch, which could also be a possibility. We'll see. I'm just gonna scroll through some random like more subdued, not super aggressive bass patches and see if we can find anything interesting. I don't know why that made me think of that. That's a wonky sound. I mean, none of these are really what I'm thinking about, but... Alright, these are, I think, pretty old. Yeah, 2014. Okay, I was gonna say, what these patches are, give me some throwback vibes right now. Let's see. Let's see if something like this could help. It's not really what I want. Let's keep looking. I love looking over and seeing the Take On Me lyrics in the chat. I'm not really liking any of these so far, but actually, the ultra sub might be Nasco ultra sub could be kind of cool with this bass line. We'll see. Just gonna duplicate this and keep looking. All right, let's see. Wonder if we could do the octave up for this. I don't know, a little bit of that high-end gritty texture could be nice. Let's keep looking. 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 Sounds like an intro for an old Flume song. That's a really cool sound. It's that old school rave stab sound. Oh, it's just a sample. It's not even like... Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's keep looking. Man. There's a specific patch I don't know what it's called that I'm like kind of looking for. Would this sound better in a different key? Starting to hear it more in E flat major. It sounds much better to me for some reason. Let's just flatten these vocals then, and pitch them down a little bit. See if they. If we can just do that for the time being. Let's do 2 semitones down. like this a little bit more, I think so. Really not sold on this sound design for this though. It's a bit Yo, thank you for the follow, Lins07. What's up, Jake Durs? Oh, you got a lot of OGs in here. What if we tried to throw in one of those Reese's I was working on? That'd be kind of cool. I can kind of hear it. I don't really remember how I was labeling these, but let's just load one of these. Yeah, maybe something like that. Oh, wait. I gotta, guess I gotta change the key of the rest of the track now. So let's go down 2 semitones. I think I'll put these down 2 semitones as well, even though their effects, some of them might be, pitched. Damn, this is unfortunate. I'm just gonna bounce these. I thought I was just gonna be able to transpose the MIDI, but this is okay. I'm just kind of trying to figure out stuff. Sounds kind of cool pitched down though. Let's get rid of the piano. Oh yeah, now we gotta let's bounce the vocals. Bounce everything. Wait. What's going on here? We don't want to. There's a bunch of alternate arrangements later in the project file, I guess, so we're just gonna delete that so we can render this a bit quicker. All right. And then let's change this MIDI 2 semitones down. Take this 2 semitones down. And then I think this is the last layer we have to transpose. Then we should be able to hear how this feels.
Once I was lost out in the ocean.
What, didn't I just... Yeah, it says down 2. Oh, that's not even the right layer. Okay, so this is the primary vocal take. So we'll take this down 2. Now we should be good.
Once I was lost out in Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for...
Okay, that's clearly still wrong. Oh, this one needs to be... Well, no, that's the pitch monster vocal. Let's see. Why is this... Pitch monster 100% wet? Yeah.
What would it take for me? What would it take for me?
Oh, this one's...
What would it take for me? What would it take for me to love? take for me? What would it take for me to let what would it take?
Okay, it's super rough, but I actually kind of like the two semitones down overall. Let's mute this bass line for a second here and just like jam out on this Reese. I don't know why I've been having so much fun with that lately, but
what would it take?
let's add some reverb before the multiband and add some like little automation things in the dry wet. I'm hearing it in a couple of specific spots, like something like that. Yeah, let's add that and
take what it takes. What would it take? What would it take? What would it take?
I kind of want to do this on the Nectar. I think that might be slightly more fun. Let's try it.
What would it take? What would it take?
Kind of want to like, I want to do like a little half step pitch glide up. It's hard to, hold on, I'm going to switch the bending maybe to half a step. Where is the, man, I always forget where the MIDI bending is. Hold on. Don't judge me. Where am I going? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think actually 2 should be what I'm looking for.
What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take?
For some reason, I'm kind of vibing with this direction a little bit more. So let's see if we can experiment with this direction a little bit more. Maybe we can have like an auto filter. We'll just map that to something on the nectar so I can kind of like fade the sound in and out.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn? What would it take?
Yo. What's up, Ben? Thanks for the sub. I kind of like this direction a little more, so let's just keep exploring it.
On my own through night and through day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to live? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take?
I don't mind it. Why don't we record that and then try to keep exploring the track? So let's delete the drums that come here and replace them with what we have here. What was this? Oh, right. Okay. I don't mind. I like that sound as well, so I'm just gonna make sure to transpose this real quick and then. Huh. There we go.
What would it take?
Okay. So right now I'm picturing like that bass line that I was just playing will happen twice as long as I was just jamming it. And then we'll bring the vocals back in, I think right about here. That looks about right. Whoa. Oh, how are these strings? I'm gonna mute those as well for now. Those are on the wrong key now.
What would it take? What would it take?
Okay, and then we can copy this over here.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves.
Okay, perfect. So let's record this bass line and then we can see how we feel about this idea.
Matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to live? What would it take? with me don't matter so much now.
All right, we gotta copy this over as well. Let's see.
Matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to live?
Okay. Let's go in and fix up the MIDI I just recorded, since that's probably kind of out of time.
Take.
I'm kind of hearing like an A-B drop more now than I was before.
What would it take? What would it take?
I do kind of like this fill here.
What would it take? What would it take?
I think I was gonna have it fade out there. But let's see what we could like alternate that sound with. So
What would it take?
I kind of like that. It's really simple, but
What would it take?
almost sound a little bit like pinch harmonics on an electric guitar.
What would it take? What would it take? What would it take?
Okay.
What would it take? What would it take?
I think this one could be a little bit more interesting. Also, I'm just gonna copy these vocals over.
What would it take? What would it take?
Okay, and then we can copy this stuff here. Maybe we duplicate this for that particular fill, and find a different like repeat section in the Reese. Let's mute some of these drums here. And let's have that reverb maybe go all the way to the downbeat for this fill. What am I drawing? Okay, let's do a high pass here and get the get this resonance going here. Ooh, what if we had some Tom do some classic Joyride call and response drop stuff and add some like percussive tom things in there. Hold on, there's some kind of like serum tom drum that was actually pretty sick that I ran across the other day. Or is it? Man, was it really not called tom? Perk. Let's look at perks. Damn. Oh, God. I have no idea. I have no idea where it was from. It was really cool. For now, maybe I'll just try to find some, like a tom loop or something, I guess. But I really wanted to bust that out in Serum and jam out on top of it. You know what? Whatever. I'm just going to search for it for a little bit, and hopefully I'll find it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Lose track of what I was trying to make and never finish the song. Let me see. I'm still looking. It's got to be around here somewhere. Problem is, I don't even remember what it was called, but I'm pretty sure it was an effect of some kind. Submarine tension. It's obviously not that one. I don't know if any of y'all remember going to the movie theater and hearing that THX intro, but that was frightening. Because I remember the feeling of being like, how much louder is this going to get? It's pretty intense. But kind of fun at the same time. Huh. That's kind of a cool lead. The reverb is gated to the volume envelope, or like the... All right. Where's my crazy, weird tom at? I'm going to look a little bit longer. If I don't find it, I'll just go to a sample. Sorry, y'all. I'm pretty determined to find this. These are all pads plucked. Obviously not that. It was really sick. I remember that. I mean, that's pretty sick. But it's none of these. That's cool. Yo, thank you for the follow, CRSTRM. I'm still looking for this damn thing. I'm gonna find it. Project X. Okay, it wasn't virtual right. Oh wow, I'm at the bottom. All right, whatever. Let's just look up. Let's go through those. See if there's a cone sound. Percussive loop. So it would be right here. So let's try to find something maybe that's closer in BPM. Sure, that's fine. I'm down to give this a shot. And then we'll let's throw a reverb on here, automate it to pop up once that higher note comes in. I don't like this pattern at all is the problem. I don't think that's gonna be it. Let me see what else I got. Percussion. I don't know. Ooh. Nope. Could try this one. Maybe a little combination of both. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But I want to keep moving somewhere else, I think. Yeah, some shakers here in the background would be nice. Make sure the momentum keeps going. So let's search shaker. Shake it. Sure.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves.
Wait, why did the, oh. I missed this. So then this last reverb hit will just keep on. Or open, or however you want to think of it. And then, I like the reverb on that, so why don't we... And we'll stop it there for a moment.
Once I was lost out in the ocean.
In fact, what if we brought this little hit over here?
For me to live, what would it take? What would it take?
I wonder if setting this
What would it take? What would it take?
could have another refill here maybe. Whoops.
Once I was lost out in the ocean. Once I was
You know what? I'm gonna duplicate this and change the repeat on this. Yeah, there we go.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. Once I was lost out in the ocean.
Maybe we leave the reverb on a tiny bit.
Once I was lost out in the ocean.
Actually, let's add an echo. Add an echo in this bad boy. Oh man. Also, I've been starting to go back to the gym again, and I can't tell you guys how good it feels to feel like I'm I don't know, just being more physically active again. It's such a good feeling. It's crazy. Just I feel like I'm naturally just like waking up with a lot more energy. Let's get a little bit of ping pong delay here.
Once I was lost out in the ocean. Once I was lost out in the ocean. Stranded with the wind and with the waves. And fear was my only emotion.
Martin will see my messages in 10 minutes. Well, I can't tell exactly when you sent that, but you're probably about right. Every stream I tune in, you're taking your sound in new directions, and it always sounds dope. I will stop glazing now. No, keep glazing. I need all the glaze. But anyways, nice to see you here, John. I think maybe part of the reason that's the case is because I'm still trying to find like the right combo for this album.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to live? Take for me to live. Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to live?
I'm kind of hearing like a little breakdown section here with where are those vocals? What would it take for me to learn?
Made it through the other side, and I can tell you now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to live?
So
What would it take for me?
oh, you know what? Actually, I have a different vocal that I want to put there, but I don't know where it is. Somewhere buried in an alternate version of this song, I feel like.
Once I was lost out in little things that what would it take for me?
Yeah. It's this this arrangement. It's a bump, but it take for me to. We're gonna grab this and pitch it down to match the new key. Create a little call and response between the synth I was playing, or roughly something like that, and this little vocal here. Let's see. Wait. Where? Okay. I'm getting a little lost in my own project file here. So let's take this down to semitones. Okay, so verse is here.
Once I was lost out in the ocean.
Okay. Okay, it's super messy right now. Let's get rid of this automation. Turn this up a little bit, and then let's figure out what we want to do with this synth. This is more of a lead synth here, so maybe for now we separate this into 2 layers. Have just like a quick basic little saw thing going on to do the chords. Hold on. Okay. Why do such plain saw chords sound so good sometimes? It's kind of mind-blowing. Okay, I'm starting to like hear some stuff developing here. None of this really has much to do with the rest of the song, but I like it. That ARP goes hard though. I like that. I wonder. I'm trying to piece this together because I'm definitely hearing both of those things happening at some point.
On my own through night and through day, but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you matter so much now. What it take for me?
All right, let's just try to start sketching this out. So let's add 8 measures here. Okay, and then here, maybe we start bringing some of these drums back in, start building a little bit more. So where would that be? Here, I think. I don't know where this is going. We'll figure it out.
So much now. What it take for me? What it take for me to live? What would it take for me? 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 What would it take for me?
Maybe we do the ARP, actually, like the second half here. I don't know. Let's just record it. What kind of it? Okay, it's just a 6/8 subdivision there. Okay, so now we have this other random section here. Not sure what to do with this. Let's take a quick listen from the beginning here. Maybe we can try to understand where the song is going if we listen from the beginning. Delete this stuff.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion.
Yo, first time chatter. What's up? WTF.
But I made it through the other
Thanks.
side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? Once I was lost out in the ocean.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm not like crazy about this
Wind and with the waves.
quote unquote drop section.
And fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day. But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to?
It's pretty cool. I like the etherealness of that ARP. It's got a nice vibe to it. Yo. Thank you for the follow, WTF. Appreciate it.
What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to?
Like this part right now, I think is my new favorite part of the song as well.
What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to?
Yo. Extra typo, thank you for the sub.
What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me? What would
Yeah, I don't really know how to make this work, but some kind of open hi-hat somewhere. Doesn't seem like it. Let's find a hi-hat to layer in here. There needs to be something with like a little more high end. Not sure exactly which pack to go for here. I guess something like this. Probably vocode it. Okay. So we have something like a bit more euphoric here. I don't really know how to what's the word I'm looking for? Reconcile that with the rest of the song. Okay, actually, one thing I want to do real quick, even if it doesn't remain in the song, I just have to hear what one of these cone sound drum loops sounds like in here. Maybe one of these. Let's check it out. It's really cool. Let's try to isolate the transient snore there. And what if we get rid of that kick drum? Try to get the pattern without the kick drum in there somehow. Yeah, something like this. Okay, sorry.
Lost out in the ocean.
That is the fastest tambourine shaker. Actually, I wonder, is there a Guinness World Record for tambourine shaking? Like at what BPM you can do 16th notes at? That would be an interesting thing to know. Radiohead invented the word arpeggi. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
another day. But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to love?
Well, wait. This thing is bothering me. It's probably just a temp vocal, but
Me to love.
that is bugging me. Hold on. It's just
Me to love. Me to love. 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 To love. To love. To love. To love. To love. What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? Once I was lost out in the ocean.
what if we actually extend? I want to double the length of this refill. I think. Let's something like that. I mean, that's not really what I was thinking, but. I don't know, something like that. Then we'll change the the automation here a tiny bit so that this goes up in the middle of here. Like this, maybe? Whatever. That's fine for now.
Fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day. But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now.
Okay, and then here comes the big departure.
What would it take for me to love?
Maybe we have that melody play one more time. I'm really not sure about the structure here, but we'll figure it out. I wonder how many times a stream I say that.
What would it take for me to? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me to? What would it take for me to?
Okay.
What would it take for me to? 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 What would it take for me to?
Maybe a snare rolled. I don't know. It's a vibe, I think. Let's just tame these offbeats a little bit. Yeah, let's just get in here and. Be fun to arm the hold on, I've got an idea. I'm gonna put the bend down to -12 here and arm both of these. Oh, that's kind of cool. So maybe that happens twice, and then we have a section afterwards. I don't know. I'm picturing like this vibe continuing a little bit longer, so let's add some more measures here. I can probably just delete whatever's happening in the rest of the project file here. Hold on. Let's get rid of all this stuff. I don't know. There's really no need for all this anymore. You can always go back to the other project files and find this stuff. Damn, how much was in this project file? That's crazy. So, okay. Let's duplicate the drums here a few times. It's a little bit more of a basic chord progression than I was originally hoping to have in the song, but I guess it really I shouldn't be thinking of it in those terms. All that matters is whether it feels like the song's working. I am a little curious. Hold on, let's add a marker here. Let's call this drop 1 maybe. And we'll call this, I don't know, drop 2. I want to know if I could like, I just want to see how this would sound if I... I could go back to this.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves.
Let's try that out. So instead of having that there, we'll add this stuff. Oh yeah. We'll add the vocal back in here. And I think here maybe let's just get rid of the claps, and we could kind of preliminarily assume this will be some kind of like outro type thing. Cool. Doesn't feel terrible. Should we have one final? What would it take there? I think we could get away with it. Yeah, we could do something like that, and then roughly we could say this might be the end. Let's just take a quick listen to this. Hey, I love ARPs too. I love having ARPs everywhere. Thanks, Zelensky.
Lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves. And fear was my
I think I could have some piano in there actually. Let's start over.
lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion, on my own through night and through day. But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? feel so much now. What it take for me? What it take for me to live? Take for me, take for me. 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 Take for me, take for me.
I mean, that feels like it makes sense, like as a full song. It's kind of fun to just throw in some piano here and there. I feel like it fills out the track some more. Were you thinking of a piano outro? I'm not sure. You know, the more I think about the album, the more I feel like I need to keep the songs themselves a bit more concise. And then once I know the order, then I can kind of decide where I want to take some detours with interludes and longer outros or weird intros and stuff like that, because you definitely want to, or I would, there's a certain balance I would want, I guess, with, just in terms of how, what am I trying to say? There's a certain balance I want with interludes and intros and outros versus kind of like songwriting and fun listening, like exciting high energy moments. But anyways, let me try this one more time because I'm kind of curious. Like, I don't know how much of what I was doing makes sense as a piano versus maybe an additional synth. There's like these little phrases. There's one actually, this is something that has been coming up a lot of my album. It's something like this. Something like that. It's kind of like almost like a recurring motif, but I have something similar in several other album tracks. So let's just let's jam on it one more time. Why not? But this time, maybe I try to play the lead sound that's in here. So let's mute this. I'll set this to Panorama P6. And don't judge me. The latency on this is pretty intense, so I'm kind of just I'm doing what I can here. Let's see what we can do here.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves. And fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day. But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn? What would it take? What would it take?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. I think that I'm just more excited about that direction overall compared to what I had before. So I don't know, maybe that's what I'll roll with. Let's see. I'm gonna take this lead sound and put it up at the top just to make it a little bit easier for me to find that. Thanks for the mess. Appreciate you joining the chat for the first time. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with having just found a direction with this track that I'm a little bit more happy with. I feel like I've been waiting for that to happen for some time now. Let's unmute this and add some of these little piano sprinkles in there, I think. So let's go back to the intro here. What would it take for me to enjoy this song? That takes nothing. Chat, y'all are way too nice to me. Can we have like one day every week, every stream where everyone just roasts everything I'm working on? I feel like it would be really helpful to like balance out, you know, make sure I'm staying in my lane, I'm staying humble. I kind of like that phrase there. I'll start with that.
was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day. But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn? What would it take? What would it take?
I'm not sure whether to do that piano riff or that one. We'll see.
Once I was lost out in the ocean, stranded with the wind and with the waves, and fear was my only emotion. On my own through night and through day. But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn?
Nice, yeah, I think some kind of little piano. Riff there would be cool. What if we start repeating the vocal here? I mean, I don't know about keeping that entire chop there, but actually, it's not being sidechained right now, so let's see what it sounds like. It's being sidechained. We can maybe shift it up there. I think what could be cool is if we hold on. I think I know how to make this work potentially. So definitely want that chorus back at 0. And let's just like alternate panning this like this. And make it a bit quieter. That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah. I almost want to bring that last little vocal phrase, or not vocal phrase, like the last little portion of the verse.
But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that but I made it through the other side, and I can tell you.
Wait, huh? Where was I hearing this? Maybe here?
But I made it through the other side, and I can tell you now, the little things that bothered me don't matter so much now. All it took for me, all it took for me to learn.
I mean, maybe? I don't know why I thought that would work. Also, this is a bit wait, what did I just do? Let's undo whatever that was. You'd automate the format instead? Yeah, sometimes the shifter can be quite aggressive. But I honestly don't have a format shifter that I like. I don't really like Alter Boy's format shifting that much. Let's try it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. But this could help kind of soften it up a little bit more. I almost want this to keep going for a little bit longer. I might double this this section of the build. I just like feels great. No, I didn't mean to do that. Undo. Could use that one vocal plugin to slowly add bigger and bigger harmonies. That'd be cool too. I like that idea. What was I gonna do? Oh, yeah, I think I was just for fun, I was gonna pull up another random lead synth here and jam for a second over this. I don't know. It's not like we need more melodies there, but it's kind of chaotic. But it could potentially work to have another riff on there. At the very least, I could record that and then just maybe use that riff in another song. Oh, I was gonna add a piano thing at the end there.
So much now. What would it take for me? What would it take for me to learn?
Cool. Maybe we have to end a little bit later. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little, it's definitely a little chaotic with this riff in there. More melodies. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, I'm pretty happy with today's stream. I'm gonna save this as a new version. I'm gonna make sure to render this too, so I can listen to this at a later point. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out today. It feels good to be back in the studio, and I'm feeling super refreshed after this weekend. Just felt really good to spend time with family, especially for an occasion like that. But yeah, let me render this out. And yeah, I know it's a little bit early, and it's 3:43. Normally, I try to go to 4 or something, but whatever. I'm feeling super happy with where things are at right now. So I think I'm gonna call it for now, and then I'll be back on, what is it today? Tuesday. I'll be back Thursday. Schedule's gonna go back as usual. I think I might try to have a makeup stream at some point, since I missed a couple. this weekend. So I don't know whether I'll do that this week or maybe I might do it next week, because next week I think I'm going to have the string players here to record some stuff for like the Inside VIP and some other album stuff. So maybe I'll do it next week. But anyways, I'll be streaming quite a bit the rest of this month. So thank you all for hanging out today, and I hope to see you on Thursday. For a moment, I thought your fiance will put makeup on you on stream. Why would you think that? Or okay, makeup stream. I see. It took me a second to realize what you were talking about. Hey, I mean, we could do that too. We have free will, you know. Might be a great use of free will. I wonder what I look like with makeup. You know what? Actually, I do have a brief funny story I'm going to add to the end of the stream. Speaking of makeup, I've had makeup done only once in my life, and it was for my first set of press shots ever. And I remember thinking, like, going into it, I was told that there would be makeup and it was going to be mandatory, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I remember telling my manager, like, I'm not comfortable. Like, what do I really need it? Anyways, I go to the shoot. They put on a ton of makeup on my face, and like, mind you, I'm young. I don't think I really need the makeup, anyways. Maybe now I could use some, but I was like 10 years younger. I was like 22 or something. And they just put a ton of makeup on me, and the press shots looked kind of hilarious. They're still online. There's some shots of me in like a Rolls Royce with like a giant hound dog, and I have like this slim suit on. It just looks so strange to me. But I think we're still, me and my manager, we're still trying to figure things out for the Haywyre project, like what kind of press shots would make sense and stuff. And I still see some of them pop up on occasion, even though they're quite old. And man, they look goofy. So yeah, the Haywyre makeup stream could be a good idea. I need redemption after that photo shoot. But okay, anyways, enough shitty stories. I'm going to end the stream here, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. Peace out. Later.